happening, people? Welcome back to Channel Lele. We're back again with another video. Yeah? Man just said another video, but another video. Enough waffle from me. Making sure, if you like my tan, yeah? Like my little tan I got over the weekend, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscription button as well, yeah? Come on, man. Jerome said, I'm here, bro. Big up, man. Man's in here early, quick time. But you know what I'm saying? The real people then who are really locked in will be here on time. The people who are a bit like wishy-washy will not hit the like button and definitely won't subscribe. Because this thing here, the ticker, needs to change. Yeah, it needs to change. But I'll change it now for you lot. Yeah. But you know what's the main important thing? Is make sure you guys are smashing the like button for me, subscribing to the channel. And we're getting to the topic today. We're talking on 800 million on forwards, apparently, Chelsea have spent. I've got the tweet ready, yeah, with the facts. Then we're also talking about Gittens telling Chelsea priority, Petrovic to be sold, apparently, and the Club World Cup win, the lap, how do you thought his performance, how do you think it went, etc. Because obviously a lot of people are talking about it. And some people think it was good, some people think it was bad. It's one of them ones, isn't it? It's like, it depends how you want to see it in it, but big up Rhino, man. Dodgers win World Series, you get top 4, and that's how you man are moving. Bro. Listen, SDFC Benny, I don't know if you're a Chelsea fan, if you're a hater, but welcome to the club, man. Do you know what I mean? If you're a hater, welcome to the club, dude. But yeah, I noticed, random point, but a lot of you do like the daytime stream. So a lot of you like it when I stream 3 to 5 p.m., preferably in the middle, like 3:34. A lot of you do like that, so I'm going to make sure I bring that to you guys. Also, in the works next week or two, I'm going to try and get an intro ticker, the time ticker as well, make it a bit more professional, and also some like visuals as well. So hopefully, I can try and up the ante a bit more, up the quality of the stream so you lot can enjoy that. But yeah, in order for me to get that, we're going to talk about it, Sandeep, but we're going to talk about it. In order for me to get there, subscribing and hitting the like button is very, very important because it helps the algorithm, it helps people understand what I'm doing. And we could try and need to get to 2,000 subs are really good. We're not too far away for 1,500 subs, which is really, really good to be fair. So can we do that? I think we can. At least how it goes, man. In the building today, we've got Big Boy Dev. I don't know if he's there or not, chat. He's there. And he was at the game yesterday. So how was it, Dev, man? Hallie, what are you telling me?
It was dead as fuck. It was dead. Respectfully, it was dead. How do I put this? It's like, what's the like lowest amount of fans you've seen at the bridge before? Like at a game you've been to?
Like so guys, when you can't hear Dev properly or whatever, Dev went to the game yesterday. So Chelsea versus LA. Dev went. Yeah. He was in the stadium. And to answer his question, what's the lowest I've seen it?
Maybe like 30, 40,000 would be my imagination.
When I go, I either go Prem games or I've been to finals.
Right.
Or like Cup. You know, Newcastle, but Mudryk scored, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Last minute, remember that goal, far post, with a slip, Trippier slip?
I'll probably say Trippier slip and release the ball.
Yeah. I'll probably say like, when I go, is mainly like 85%. That's the minimum.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like there was
1,000, it'd be like 39.
I want to say there was like 20 to 25,000 in that stadium, and it's a nice stadium, by the way. But
yeah, more than
more than half were Chelsea fans. So I was like, it's just FIFA are stupid for this, and then we're gonna get into the important shit. But like FIFA are really stupid for their planning. Monday in Atlanta, Georgia, at 3 p.m. when your fan base is primarily either in the UK or Africa.
Now, we could talk about it now. We could talk about it. Yeah. Let's go on it.
But
for the game LAFC,
nope.
20,000 people.
It was just like one of those because like I've been fortunate to be to the bridge multiple times. I've been fortunate to be to the Bernabeu. So it's like to see stuff like that, you know what I mean? And then to go there, it's like that's lower than an MLS game. I can go to an MLS game and the stadium would be more packed. But Neither here nor there. Point is, at least there were Chelsea faithful, myself included, in there, shouting, supporting the
Yeah,
lads.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
most important thing.
Obviously, rivals made that a big point to say that, Chelsea are relevant. The competition doesn't mean anything. Obviously, the rivals are going to do that because they're going to try and crap on the competition they're not in. But at the same time, seeing like 20,000 people in there, loads of empty seats is a bit mad. But you know why? So I'm going to give people some context. And Dev, who lives other side the water, other side the lake, is the pun, can tell us reasons why. But from what I know, the main reasons are because at 3 p.m., the prices are very expensive. The fact that they haven't put it in one concentrated area. So fans, if they wanted to watch all the games, have to have enough money to buy a ticket for one, and then travel to other places to watch the games. So it's just, even if we did that in England, it's unrealistic. For example, if there was a competition in England where Chelsea were playing, we had to go from Stamford Bridge to Liverpool Anfield to then
The
Manchester.
Merseyside, then Manchester,
England is nowhere
exactly.
near as big as USA, obviously. That's why they've got states with cities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like, even that would be long.
It would be mad.
London to Liverpool takes like 4 or 5 hours by car.
Exactly, and that's still a lot. Like,
And that's a lot of, and if you're driving, that's extremely time consuming. And then let alone you get a flight. Again, very, very time consuming. So, and then that's what you're talking about accommodation stuff. So that's the reasons why, in my opinion, from outside looking in. But then, why do you think it's so quiet? Like, do you think it's promo? Do you think it's money? Do you think it's all of the above? Like, give us your POV.
Yeah. So I'm
Love for
gonna
the love,
start
man.
with, yeah, absolutely. Big up yourself too, man. What I would say is, realistically, it's all the above, and I'll just touch on them briefly. My main issue with is people are centering it that it's a Chelsea thing. Not a lot of these opening games have been really dead. So my issue is, I think it comes down to FIFA's scheduling of the event. You want to treat this Club World Cup essentially as like a World Cup FA Cup variant. You get what I'm saying? Like something of significance. This trophy is supposed to matter. That's how they're trying to treat it. Like, oh, this trophy matters now. But then you schedule it so inconsistently. For example, we're playing LAFC. Why are you playing the opener to LAFC in Atlanta, Georgia? You're actually making it impossible for LAFC fans from the MLS in LA. Do you know what it's like to my bad, I'm sorry. United States talk, essentially, that's like traveling from the UK all the way across to the other side of the UK for no reason. It's a 5 to 6 hour journey, and that's pointless. So it was a low turnout because, once again, there were more Chelsea fans than LAFC fans. Let me repeat that. There were more Chelsea fans than LAFC fans, and we're in the United States for this game.
That's mad. That's mad.
So
that's mad.
It's just terrible planning by FIFA. Any other games you see that are all over the place, that are ping-ponging and are not your national or native place, i.e. London, if you live in London, you can go to Stamford Bridge. You'll go to those two games. But as soon as those openers go to another place, you're not going to go to those games. And that's what I'm trying to say is, like, the scheduling is, number one, the worst thing they did. And it's always fuck FIFA anyway. Secondly, it was the first game. Let's be real. People looked at the scheduling. You see the AC Milans, maybe the PSGs in the quarterfinals. And you're right, money, it's very expensive. Before they cut the prices on these tickets were very expensive for no reason.
Give us a bit of context. How expensive were they?
Oh, I'm smart, brother. I have, my girlfriend lives here. So all I did was wait till, I want to say, right before the game, the day before the game. And I got 2 tickets, 100 section, $80.
Oh, that's calm. That's calm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how much?
But what they were before,
yeah,
300 a seat at the 100. 300 a seat.
100 is what? Closer to the ground?
Yeah, 100 is like, you been to Matthew Harding?
Yeah. So, look, okay.
Those first 8 rows would be the equivalency of what I'm saying.
I went there to watch Southampton, and I was really close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you're like I'm saying, you were in those first 8 rows. You were in the first 8 rows. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I remember taking a picture of it. I didn't remember it was. What did we win? It would have been like what? We played Southampton. That was like the middle of our good run when we started playing well.
The ultras never let me get that close, man. I pray one day to
No, it's really hard to get the tickets. It's really,
you know
really
what
hard.
it is.
Someone had to tell me.
Yeah.
I had to get plugged, but yeah, thank God. But yeah, man. But I get your point. Like, there's a phrase you can economics, but the phrases I've lost. It's really sad. I lost these kind of phrases, man. But essentially, they're pricing people out because the average person works at 3 p.m. and the average person, if they work at 3 p.m., definitely can't afford £300 or dollars per ticket. The average person. So
however you
very,
slice
very
it, and the
expensive.
pound's more expensive. You're not. It's like I know the average price is for a home game at Stamford Bridge. Imagine if they hiked that up 3 times. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
like
would
you're
be a
basically paying like
revolt.
130 or 20 just
Yeah,
for a
it'd be a
game, yeah.
revolt.
But even now, people complain because now the average price has gone up from like it's probably about like 40 quid now. So even that's gone up a bit.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
back
told me you
then
used
they
to be able to get the games for
yeah, we had
20.
like a
I was like, I don't
28,
believe you guys. I
20.
wish I was around.
The overall in the game, I watched the full game. Usually, it's much mad, guys. Is I haven't been watching all our games, especially in the lead up to the top 4. Some of the games I did watch, but in sporadic moments. But this game I actually watched in full. The first half was how I expected it to be. Chelsea always in first half make it a difficult watch in terms of they kind of see out the game, feel the game a bit more, and we don't really have a much attacking threat. And that's what seems to happen with our first half. So it was kind of the same thing. It was good to see Jackson perform really well. Jackson performed quite well. I know the level of opposition is not great, but I thought he didn't really lose the ball at all. Good hold-up play, good pace, good dribbling at times. Created a few chances for Noni as well. We can speak on Noni individually. Should have put him on the thumbnail, but I put Delap there because Delap had a really good game as well. And yeah, I think the competition for the places is really good. I was listening to a stream just now, Dev, and they were saying how they don't know how signing these players such as Gittens and Delap would raise the bar. And what they seem to miss is that although Gittins and Delap are not world class, they're not even really top class, they're extremely important profiles we don't have. And in my opinion, having profiles that are very important and having a team that makes sense with synergy and chemistry and stuff, that can be almost as important as like getting like a marquee signing. Because, for example, if we'd signed Gyökeres but kept Noni at left wing, it won't mean anything. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, obviously, in the ideal world, you get Gyökeres and you get a Gittins or Rodrigo. Obviously, that's the ideal. But I'm talking realistically. Even teams like Arsenal, who've been challenging for 4 years now, 3 years, even they're struggling, Dev, to get Rodrigo and Gyökeres. And by the way, they're not the benchmark. So when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, we should be using them as the benchmark. The point isn't that. The point is that in the market right now, there's not a lot of profiles available on the market which will meet a lot of teams' needs, in it. So when you do get a Delap option and a Gittins option, they may not be world class, but then you have to go, who is world class, Lepinga and the striker right now? Then you have to go, who actually fits our system? Who would be good in our team? What makes more sense money-wise? If it makes sense. So I bring that up to say that how Jackson having competition is really good, despite the fact Delap is not a world-class striker. I like the fact there's competition. And I can already tell from the first game, Dev, is where you can land your point, that even Jackson already, you can just tell. You can just, Dev, the things, yeah? Sometimes in life, people don't need to talk. You can just see things yourself. The actions kind of speak louder than everything.
Right.
Like, I know it's only LAFC, and the level's a level, but we've seen Jackson in the Conference League games look meaty. You know what I'm saying? This is about the same level as Conference League game. Probably a little bit higher, maybe. Like a little bit.
Right.
But
I mean, my thing on
I
it.
don't use one game sample size, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of see Jackson kind of fix up a bit. But
No. I think a keyword you mentioned there is competition. So like, people forget what like an Anelka will do to a Drogba. They forget what like just having a level of competition. There's too many players we could list down the list, but Jackson has not had competition for his spot. And if he has had competition, it's putting more of a false 9 role. He needs a direct striker, a number 9 in the box that can compete with him and force him to up his levels. This happens all the time. One of my biggest fears is actually at Arsenal is they get proper depth for Saka because it'll take Saka up a level. People don't get what competition does to players. If they really want to play, if they really want to win, if they really want to be at the club, it drives them to improve. And one thing I will say against LAFC at least was that Jackson performed well. I mean, sometimes it's not even about level of opposition, which I'm being very, very clear. LAFC is not the level to be judging players on. But, and I'm just being real. Sometimes it's about the motion, seeing the right runs, seeing the right passes, seeing the right decision making. Because a lot of the times it's not even about the level. It could have been a Man City, it could have been a Southampton, it could have been an LAFC, and Jackson might make the wrong shot, the wrong pass. So for me, I like to see the decision making.
Like, Dev, like just spot on there. I was so surprised. Like he said, there was times where he even skilled me up because I thought he would take a shot and he laid it off, and I was like, "Raw!" Like if that's normal Jackson, he's so low in confidence because there's no one backing him up that he goes for a shot there, or he tries overdoing it. But like when you have someone coming to training, 6 foot tall, play in the Prem, English tax, being in Man City's academy. For context, Man City and Chelsea's academy is probably in the world, I would argue, top 5, even top 4. And that's me being polite, you know?
Yeah.
City's and Chelsea's academy, City's more recently, but Chelsea's academy since time has been probably
top 3. I would say 3rd and 2nd behind Barcelona, actually.
Obviously you got Barca's probably the best, I'd probably say. Yeah.
And then I would say it depends. Some years it's us, some years it's City, vice versa.
Yeah, so City more recently, because before the last 10 years, they didn't really have a lot of academy players that kind of produced that way.
No, not 10 years. Like the last 5, I would say.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to literally say the last 5 years they've had a lot of growth because they invested in it, didn't they? They built up the whole thing.
Heavy amounts of money.
They literally built their whole academy thing. I think 2023 after COVID, they bought
a whole club. What we're doing now with Strasbourg to develop their talent. That's where we got the model from.
They built the clubs, and then they built a facility in Manchester, in the city. So that's good knowledge that me and Dev know, but people don't know. Anyway, the point is that you see Delap come in now, ball striking it. It's gonna give you something up your ass. It's gonna make you feel a little bit more on edge, and competition is very important.
I think ironic. My first competitive game, because I've been to some friendlies, but I haven't seen, like I tell people, I haven't seen the boys and Tukes, and you already know that was a completely different team, brother. That team then is essentially all gone except for Reece James. I think Reece James is the only one left from that team. So to see the new boys, and it was just like Delap, I could tell people already. I was a little hesitant about Delap, but there's something in his there's something about his link up, and I'm not getting giddy from LAFC. I'm talking about, once again, seeing the motions of the player, right? Because when we looked at Ipswich, he was doing the same exact thing. And that cross he made at the end wasn't just because he got a good cross or a good pass laid off to him. He knew where to move down the byline to receive the ball to get the space to create a better crossing opportunity. That shows me box awareness. So for me, I'm very excited now to see Delap in the Premier League. Specifically the Premier League, because I want to see how he adapts to not having as much space and as much time on the ball. But he seems very technically sound, especially in person.
Yeah, even for the goal, that Dev is spot on. He was at the stadium, so he knows better than me, but he made a run. Palmer got on the ball, which he always does. And this is another thing about Palmer is he doesn't need to have GA, and he's impacting the game the whole time. That ball to Delap was smooth. Delap makes the right run, puts his head up, perfectly weighted pass. And Enzo's been in fantastic form the last 9 to 10 months. Finishes it off. And that kind of goal kind of summed up our last few weeks, isn't it? A lot of synergy, good chemistry, you know, and Delap fit in nicely. And yes, it's LAFC, so the cliche line I have to say is that's not the level. But that's not really the point about the level. The point is that we still want to see something. Because at the end of the day, guys, this is Chelsea's pre-season. Because when we get back from pre-season, World Cup, there's 2 friendly games, and we're going to find out tomorrow who we're playing on the first weekend of the season. I doubt we'll play Friday, so it'll probably be Super Sunday. Because Chelsea usually play a big team the first game week of the season. You play Liverpool and City back-to-back.
United.
So that's usually what happens, yeah. So I won't be surprised if it's an Arsenal or if it's a Tottenham. It won't be a Tottenham. It won't be a Tottenham.
I would love an Arsenal. I would love an Arsenal.
Newcastle. You know, they never really put our direct rivals, usually indirect rivals, or Man United, you know, something like that. So that's why, in a weird way, like, I don't want to say I don't want to win this, but at the same time, I do care about, like, I do want my players to be fit. Because I do think we can have a good start like we did last year. Actually, our start last year wasn't even that good. Because
our start was above average. It wasn't. Yeah, our start was above average.
I think we lost against United. We lost against City at home.
We lost against City.
Who do we have next?
I mean, wait, who was our second game? You tell me who our second game is.
I don't want to check. I want to remember this. I want to see how good.
That's what I'm saying off the top of my head.
Yeah, hey chat, don't you dare let me know. I'm going to remove the chat. Chat, you're cheeky. Do not let me know. I'm going to remove the chat.
Don't say it. I need to remember the second game.
Dev, if I get it, I'm not going to tell you. But I'm going to remove the chat. I can see the comments already pinging off. Chelsea, I think won 3-5. We played City away at home. It must have been a home game.
It's definitely a home game.
It won't.
You know what? I'm not even going to say it.
No way was it Wolves straight away. No way. No way did I get that.
Brother, the first 3 games was City. I'm pretty. Yeah, that was the 5-2. I'm pretty sure it was City.
I was in Bali.
If I'm correct, it was City, Wolves, and now I'm going to go check.
Don't tell me. We had Bournemouth. We beat them away. Nkunku scored. That was in summer. That was in September. We had City. We had Wolves. And there was another draw in there. There was a draw win in there. Chat. I remember because we didn't win, but we beat Wolves, but then we lost against City. We then beat. Must be West Ham. Nah, West Ham's way too late.
I think it is. No. I'm not going to tell you the third one. I'm going to make you sweat for it. I checked it on Google.
I swear down, I haven't looked at the chat.
All right, look. I'm going to run it one time, though, for you, the first 2, because the first 2 we were right without searching, which was, you said Chelsea, Man City, which is easily the 2-0.
Yeah.
And then we were wrong about the score. It was fucking 6-2, not 5-2. That was 6-2. Chelsea versus 6-2. I'm trying to remember the 6 goals now.
Palmer hat-trick of assists. Calm.
Yes. Hat-trick of assists by Palmer. The third one's going to piss you off.
What?
September 1st, 2024.
It's a week before my birthday. There's a Bournemouth one in there somewhere.
That's the fourth one. That's nice. Yeah. All right, I'll give you one last hint. We drew that game, and it pissed us all the fuck off. Second hint. It's a London neighbor. Yes. 1-1 to Crystal Palace.
Come on, man. You gotta have the memory.
And I'm not gonna, Chaz, I'm giving you that one because you actually said the other 2. You said West Ham, Chelsea, and you said Bournemouth, Chelsea. Yeah, I was like, that's nuts.
I got 3 or 4 out of 5. I just missed 1.
I want to say 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you got 4 out of 5. The Palace was the only one that was thrown off.
Yeah, chat's telling me. Chat is telling me. Yeah, we saw this. Yeah. By the way, guys, I'm not ignoring your chat. The conversation is really good, so I'll get you guys involved. But enough for everyone who's involved. Can you make sure we're doing 2 things for me? Callie's pins right there. And also, I'm going to add it to the description below as well. And also, please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. It's very, very simple. You can enjoy the content, enjoy me in Dev's conversation. We usually have more in-depth conversation when we talk, which is good for you guys. Subscribe, like, and enjoy the content. Very simple. Yeah?
Hit the like.
Patrick's in here as well. Be up, Patty. Be
Real
up, Patty,
quick,
every single time.
and just so
Be up, Robert. Be up, Robert. Be up, Rob.
nice. Just so I can refresh everyone's memory, because it's okay. Like 38 season is long.
I think you could bring it up on the screen. I think you can.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can do that right now.
I don't know how to do it. Be up, Jay Shaw, the member.
I'll definitely. I'll chat to you after. I'll tell you how to do it with the share screen. Only the host can do it though, unless you give like me off privileges.
I don't know how I can make you present.
Yeah. I'll help set you up after. We'll chat about that. But what I will tell everybody is before January, I'm going to tell you how many points we dropped, and I want everyone to remember we were in second. First game of the season, 0-2 against Man City, a game we high-key could have got a draw of. 1-1 Crystal Palace, should have won that game. 1-1 Nottingham Forest was the first fair draw of the season. 1-1 against United, we should have won that game. 1-1 against Arsenal, we should have won that game. I'm not being salty, I remember all these flipping games. Everton against Chelsea, 0-0, we deserve to lose that. Sanchez saved us points. Chelsea, 1-2 against Fulham, we deserve that loss. Ipswich Town, 2-0. We deserve that loss. 1-1 against Crystal Palace again. 2-2 against Bournemouth. 3-1. We were still in fucking second place before that dip started. That's why I'm pissed. Because what I'm saying is, if you close some of those draws out, right? Because once again, you can afford to take losses competing for a Prem. It's not converting the draws, man. There's so many draws in our first half of the season. Forget the dip in form we had the second half. That's why we ended up fourth. But the first half of the season, we should have been flying with Liverpool, and we were for a second. So it's just like, I'm just saying, overall, my point with reminding people of that record is we're a ways off, but we're not that far off. Like, put some proper profiles in here, proper experience and depth, and this team is going to make a run. Problem is we all don't know if the board's going to get the players we need them to get. And it's like a lot of these players that are coming in are young, man. And although I like the talent ID, I like some of the players that people were slating before and are now singing their praises now. Go back and look what happened when we first signed Cole Palmer. I'm not even acting like I was singing Cole Palmer, but people swear up and down they were singing Cole Palmer's name. No, you weren't. You were mad as hell we didn't get Elise. Let's not be fake. It's okay. With new information comes new perspectives, right? So the new information tells me the scouting department is capable of getting some gems. But I need some proper depth and proper experience in profiles we've been lacking for years, man. If you get that sorted out, if you get the striker position sorted out, so we have Delap, right? I'm going to tell you right now for fun, Delap and Jackson is not enough to win a title. But it's damn sure going to make us better. It's damn sure going to make us more competitive.
That's what we're saying, yeah. So, yeah, I think the point is that if we had the squad depth we're trying to buy, because obviously this conversation came about because we're talking about the schedule and how, like, I still want to win the Club World Cup. But obviously, if it means the players get less rest, cool. But I still want to win the trophy. Don't get twisted. I don't want to deliberately go out just to get an extra 2 weeks rest for the players. Like, I definitely don't. But
if it happens in the quarterfinals, give it a good go. We get knocked out by PSG. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, the toughest team I think we could face if we get through the group stage, which we should, would be Paris Saint-Germain. So obviously, if you lose respectively to them, again, I do not want to lose. But I'm saying if you lost or won, I wouldn't be that annoyed either way because we beat them.
I would actually scale back some of the training sessions, be like, you got real friendlies, like proper friendlies in there. Let's make sure we don't get our players injured because that happened. Don't forget Reece James started the fucking season, got injured again. That happened last season. Let's avoid that happening this season. Let's avoid Lavia being injured at the beginning of the season. I'm telling you, you guys forget some of the players we were missing from the first half and the second half of the season. Proper players. Lavia, James, Caldwell had an injury. Fofana has been out. Like, proper players that are integral to our system. And Fofana's obviously might have to be phased out, respectively. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, because he's not even back now. Goodness sake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fofana, like unlike RJ was at that point. You get me at the line. He got that surgery, and thank the stars, RJ has been himself, and long may it continue. But with Fofana's already had the surgery, and that's why I'm like, and his injuries have been
it's looking peak.
severe.
I'm not gonna lie, looking peak.
Respectfully, like everybody knows how I feel about Fofana, but injuries are injuries.
Because the thing is, with Reece James, at least his credit in the bank. You know, like he's actually performed.
Champions League, I think best right back during that Champions League run. Absolutely.
I checked it on the stream. Yeah, on the stream one time I checked it. For 2 seasons, he didn't really get injured that much, and all of a sudden, after we won the Champions League, it's been peak since then.
Playing TT's wing back system, having to go up and down.
Yeah.
The wing back and attack.
Him up, man. But
hey, man, but we saw some of the greatest footy he's ever played.
Is true. I hear this, and the same thing can happen to Reece James. So for Fofana happened to Reece James.
No. But people are saying about the surgery, guys. You forget he also tore it's not just like, oh, he got the surgery for this other injury. He had another major injury before that. RJ has always been the same thing. It's his fucking hamstring. Why he got the surgery. With Fofana, it's his whole leg. It's his knee. It's his back leg. It's his ankle. Like, people don't understand. He's had multiple injuries to the same leg. And not even to be that guy. Just easily go Google Fofana's injuries, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. And I'm not going to act like I remember all of them.
The point is, he's very, very fragile. Unfortunately, obviously, he's a baller. He is a baller. When he plays, he's hard. But I'm always worried about watching him play. He's gonna break. And talking about breaking, we need to talk about this breaking the money, because in front of me here, guys, is a tweet. Yeah, and this is definitely real from Transfer Market. So let me get it up.
Wait,
I hope to God it's real. Yeah, go on.
Before you hit that tweet, just in case, because people might say we didn't talk about the game. Honestly, guys, that's a dead game. I was there in person. There's nothing really to talk about. Dead first half, and I mean dead first half. No attacks, both sides. No one getting in the box. Second half, you guys know what the chances were. You saw both goals. Good assist by Delap. Good assist by Jackson. Technically, even though it's a bit of individual brilliance from Neto, that's it. LAFC should have scored once, factually, but they don't have any clinical finishers in their attack. Game ends 2-0. All right, go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really speak on the game, because the game didn't really have a lot of talking points.
Like I respect you guys' time, man. Like, I was there in person, and I don't want to talk about it. It was a dead game.
I didn't watch the game. Like, honestly, I was like this. I was on my phone half and high. I wasn't really looking at it. Also, I'd love to be at the game, because in America, we've been cool to see Dev and all the other Chelsea fans in America, all that community.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome.
So that would be sick, right? Pretty cool. But in terms of the game, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, what amazing football. Clearly, players are like playing 40%, but they did what they needed to do, got a few good goals. Neto's always running around. That was it, really. So I'm going to overget it, but something we do need to talk about is the money spent, because obviously it's a big talking point at Chelsea Football Club. A lot of people love to mention it. And the money wasted is the title, guys. And the reason why the money wasted is the title is because Chelsea are linked, was linked together perfectly with Gittens, Fofana, someone said before, Kudos, all these players. By the way, we're talking about Malik Fofana from Lyon, okay? We're linked to all these players, right? And my thing is, do we keep wasting money? Because the facts are, if I get it on the screen right now, these are the facts. Chelsea have spent, according to Transfer Market, 803 million euros on forwards in the past, 5 years? That's nearly double the amount PSG have signed. That's nearly quadruple. That's nearly what? It's not quadruple, but it's just more than double than what Man United have done. Other teams who've been successful, Liverpool, you know what I'm saying? We nearly tripled them. 2, 4, 6, 8, quadrupled them, sorry. Look at Barca, Look at Arsenal, 80 million. Now, Arsenal haven't won anything, but again, we spent the 803 million euros on these strikers. So the point is going to be, how much money is Chelsea going to waste? Because even at me and Dev, who can rationalize the decision-making, we can rationalize what's going on in the club. when I get stats like this, Dev, it doesn't look that good. Like 800 million does not look good on forwards. I know it includes players like Lukaku and these kind of guys in the club. So there is context about that. But at the end of the day, and we've got like what's called Mudryk in there. You know, so you got players in there who aren't here anymore. But even so, you take Lukaku out, it's still 700 million.
No. People are saying like if you want to do all the technicalities, sure, but like I would levy that criticism at the old regime too. Like people forget, love Roman, but there were mistakes made. The amount we spent on forwards was one of them. And into the new ownership, that trend has continued. We don't seem to get our attackers right. We don't seem to get, like, if you look at Liverpool, every time they bring in an attacker, yes, they have your Darwin Nunez's or, you know, some of your other players, like some people say Sturridge back in the day. But let's be real. When an attacker goes to Liverpool, they usually give them 10 to 15 goals in the Prem. Not all comps, the Prem. So my issue is, this isn't just like a Roman issue or a Blue Coat issue. This is like a Chelsea issue. Is we have not gotten our striker right, possibly since Diego Costa, and we haven't gotten a proper front three since, I don't even want to try to think about it, but we just have not had a proper front three or a proper striker in a very long time. And I was just going to say our overall negative last year was about 107 million. So we took a minus 107 million hit. That's fine for PSR. That's why we passed PSR, because that's enough. But what I'm trying to say is, we didn't make Champions League, it would have been peak. But beyond that point, we got to get these forwards right, man. We have to get these forwards right.
That's the conversation, man. Like, it's all good. I can be here all day I want and rationalize what's going on. But even for me, I'm quite critical in general. Like, I need to have a certain burning performance of my club. So I need to be able to tell Dev, yo, Dev, I love this model to a certain degree. I don't like the execution. And this is one of the reasons why. Because whether it's a curse, striker curse, the wrong wingers, you can't keep spending on wingers and strikers. And 1 in 10 are doing well. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, we actually need to start getting better recruitment and make better decision making. Because, for example, but this is literally irrelevant. Whether we've signed potential or not, they've flopped. Sterling joined my club in his prime, flopped. Aubameyang joined, went to Marseille and bang, but flopped at Chelsea. Koulibaly joined in a different position, but didn't work. Ziyech joined Chelsea. Again, he won the Champions League. Grealish has won the Champions League. What now? Like, he didn't work. So my point is that we saying JJ, bit up JJ. The point I'm trying to make for everyone in the chat to be very, very clear, and Dev knows this already, is that we can admit Chelsea actually needs to start getting these signings correct. The lap needs to be good for the club. We can't have another striker come in and not perform, because at a certain point it gets to like, yo, when are Chelsea actually going to get this correct? And that's the reason why we haven't been able to compete consistently, because we haven't had an attack. And then every time we do have an attack, we don't have a defense. And then when we have a defense, we don't have a midfield. Then we have a midfield, we'd have both. So now Chelsea are now addressing these areas. So hopefully this season especially, we're actually linked in the summer transfer window to actual players who are going to make a difference. That's what I mentioned earlier about profiles, not just names. Don't listen to people when they say to you, Chelsea needs to go out there and spend on world-class talent. Wrong. Right now, I just need a flipping left winger. Right now, I just need a centre-back. Right now, I need another left winger. I need 2. Forget about world-class. I haven't even seen my team have balance since the Champions League. And even the Champions League was a miracle because Havertz, Kai, and Mount and Pulisic aren't prolific goal scorers.
Please respect Tommy Tukes for that Champions League win.
There we go. So that's more credit on the manager. By the way, it doesn't mean the players didn't perform. We have generational talent.
They showed up.
And
yep.
Legendary players such as TS, Kante, Aguero. Like, don't get twisted. Like, we're not saying, like, for example, Aspilicueta's in there, arguably a legend of football, etc. Like,
possibly greatest right back of all time on our team. Yeah.
There we go. Mendy was Mendy for that season was one of the best goalkeepers.
Mendy had one of the greatest goalkeeper seasons of all time in the Champions League. It's wild. And then dropped off. and then dropped off.
Yeah, so like the point is the manager got the best out of the players because you don't get all these positions to all of a sudden outperform and it not be on the manager. The same way when players are underperforming, we look at the manager. So we've got to keep the same energy. What I'm trying to say is that I haven't got on the screen right now, but the 803 million, I need to see Chelsea actually get these forwards correct because this number's going to get ridiculous, Steph. I know they've included Tuchel's era, Roman Abramovich's era to make it look obviously worse, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, man, we need to see these two left wingers come in, and that's how we're going to bring Gittens and Fofana into this conversation in a second. But what's your thoughts on 800 million, man?
Like I said, we need to improve, point blank, period. Like, I'm just looking at our overall transfer activities in general, because I like to do that at the end of the season, is go back, look what we did in the year, who did we loan out, and beyond, I want to say that 800 million, that needs to improve as far as the total amount we're spending on forwards. Like, clearly, you can look into the team at the attackers now and know that, thank you, 450. Like, some of those attackers definitely weren't worth a buy. And I'm not going to say, all the attackers. I would say we could have easily saved 100 million out of that 450, right? So let's just go ahead and really quick, let me just give you guys who got loaned out for an important reason in regard to this 800 mil. Andre Santos, Gilchrist, Aaron Anselmino, that young center back from Argentina, Eddie Beach. I didn't even know we had him. He's a goalkeeper. Caleb Wiley, Leslie Ukuchukwu, Bashir Humphreys, Kepa, Amanda Broya, Trevor Chalobah, Petrovic, Raheem Sterling, and DDF, David Datro Fofana, who is supposed to be another striker. I see a lot of these players not making it back to Chelsea. The only ones I see making it back, Santos, maybe Gilchrist, and Anselmino is too young to be sold right now. I don't even know if Leslie will make it back, being completely transparent. I see everyone else getting sold or being loaned out again. So that tells me if I'm naming over 10 players and 8 of those 10 players you don't plan in your first team or even your second team, we have invested some money incorrectly. Now, can this, would anybody give two shits if next season Chelsea wins the Champions League or the Prem? I guarantee you they won't. But the point is, for once, and no one can ever say this if you're a true Chelsea fan, you have never seen Chelsea Football Club be the dominant force in the world. I'm talking about for 5 years straight. It's just Chelsea, Prem, Champions League, Prem. You've never seen that. And the reason you never saw that was because the only mistake Roman made is when he got around FFP and he had the league in the palm of his hand. He did not do what Man City did and dominate. Take everyone and put them on Chelsea. And we had the loan army at the time. Could you imagine? We could have stockpiled the best talent, preventing other clubs from getting them, and we could have kept our first team, who was magical at the time. But we didn't do that. That's why you only saw us win major honors, respectfully. No disrespect to the major honors, but they were every now and then. We saw one double, maybe a repeat. What repeat? What am I forgetting? Yes, we've seen back-to-back, sorry. But we haven't seen a three-peat. We haven't seen a four-peat. We haven't seen madness like that because we weren't the dominating force during that period. We were just a world-class team. And what I'm saying is, I don't want to see us just win a Prem or a Champions League because they get the transfer activity right one season and then we fall off again because we don't invest properly the next season. I need to see the board start to make proper decisions in our areas of need so that we can compete more regularly. Because that's the whole point of all this shit, right? To not only compete at the highest level, but to win some damn trophies.
Mm-hmm.
And so as far as the 800 mil goes, it's simple, man. Whether it's 800 mil or 450 mil, I know I can count at least 100 to 200 million that we're not using either correctly or at all for Chelsea. So if that's the point, what I need to see, and you know how you can improve that 800 mil number? By getting some of those players out. and getting money back for them. And I already named who we loaned out.
Well, man. For example, players like Noni.
Nani needs a loan or he has to go. It's one or the
Noni,
other.
man, it's not looking good, man, because I don't want to talk about he says game too much because there's not much to talk about. But Noni, if Chelsea,
because he was the only player struggling.
This is probably people like Noni, okay? Noni needs to realize Chelsea will be signing 2 forwards minimum who can play on the left, which now
especially
means
after the Mudryk situation.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because Mudryk will 100% be playing next season. Whether he's banned or not, it's not a problem. But Chelsea do not have him in our plans, hence why his number got taken away. Okay. The second reason is Sterling's going, and the third reason is Sancho, who was actually playing in our left wing, is also not here anymore. He's gone back. We didn't have to pay a penalty on him. He's gone back to Manchester United. So we literally have no left winger other than George. Fact. Okay. So Noni, players like I'm looking at Noni specifically because there is no more makeshift ideas on the left anymore. Like, you're going to be seen as a right winger. And unfortunately for you, you were like 4th in that order. No exaggeration. Or 3rd at best. So you've got Esteban, you've got Palmer who can play there, and you've got Neto who can play there. So it doesn't look good. So you need to be able to be more competent because we have time to wait anymore. Like, you've been here for 2 years now. And it's a bit of a shame, but players like him, it's just how it is, right? So when you're Gittens coming in fun, we're going to speak about in a minute, you just need to improve. And that's part of the reason why our money's not looking good as how it is, because we haven't got much return on our investment yet. Like, some of these players who we have in our team haven't performed at that level. The only one I can really say is obviously Palmer. Like, everyone else, the jury's still out. Neto's performed well, few clutch moments. But even him, not as consistent as people like. Yeah.
But like, see, that's the thing, especially what the chat is saying too, because someone was saying essentially Noni will be fine and we could have dominated under Carlo and I want something extraordinary. But let me be very clear to you. How many times are we going to keep getting world-class players or a world-class team and not capitalizing on it? That spine we had from 05 to 2012 to, I'd say, and then the refresh of that spine again from 2014 to 2017. Do you guys think the amount of Prems we won and the amount of Champions Leagues we won is deserving of how good those teams were? It doesn't, in my honest opinion. Even looking back at the loss in Moscow against United, if we're being so real with ourselves, some of our players just played poorly on the occasion. Club legend JT. Why was JT unavailable for that game, Chess? Just really quick. Let's just take a trip down memory lane.
Were you talking about the final?
Yeah, the final against United. What did JT do?
You talking about the slip?
Yes. No, but do you see, I don't even have to give you context. I just give you waffle, and you knew what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is, why wasn't JT available for that game? The JT we know. First Champions League final, shit happened. Waffle to say is, I'm not aiming for anything extraordinary. I've seen these teams, I've seen our history, and I've seen the managers we've had. And all I'm saying is, if our board operated a bit better during the old regime and this new regime, look at City, look at Liverpool. That's the example I'm going to use for a real good reason. Are those teams miles ahead of everybody else? No. I would argue Liverpool is getting to that point. Why? Because they just went out and got Verts. They're still looking at Etetike, Osman, Isak. That's why they're getting ahead. You get what I'm saying? And what I want to see from our board is not just planning to compete or win a singular title. I want to see sustained dominance, meaning every season we have our targets. Every season we know which roles we need to refresh. Mm-hmm. And then every season afterwards we check based on what happened the previous season. This has been shown by the board's plan and what players they've been bringing to the club. So that's just to expand to what the chat was saying. I try to respond to the people who chat. Don't forget to smash the like.
No. I don't think it is.
He said you're acting like an Arsenal. Hey, Arsenal fans haven't won shit in 20 years. Well, I don't think we're even in the same boat, brother.
We're definitely
I'm not saying
doing
we deserve to win titles. I'm saying let's do the work necessary to win titles. There's two different things, my brother. No one is entitled to a title. You're not even entitled to a Champions League spot. That should be very clear.
no one's actually entitled. We're just kind of setting the standard, isn't it? Like, we need to do better, man. Like, that's the bottom line. That's why I wanted to bring that up, because when I saw that, I was like, "Rah, this is really bad." Even me, if I can rationalize things, it doesn't look good. But what is looking promising is the links to our left wing position in particular. We're linked with Gittens. I'm going to put up on the screen right now. Has actually confirmed and said that he won't be looking at any other options. He wants Chelsea. I don't know if that's because of the pay package or because of the contract or what, but this guy is remaining committed to the club. We get on the screen for you guys just now. And he's literally said, "Yo, I ain't going nowhere, you know? I'm not going to go nowhere. I want to join the club." It's been confirmed by Fab. It's been confirmed on Simon Johnson's Sport, an article. Jimmy Gittens is clearly the most likely fill the Chelsea winger role as it stands. Among the candidates being viewed to meet the other attacking requirements are Hugo, Kudus, Pedro, and Enviro. So guys, read carefully what it says. Among the candidates being viewed to meet their other attacking requirements, which again confirms we will be signing at least two wingers. So they have Gittens as the winger, well, probably the starting left winger, and they also want to bring in an attacker who can play in the attacking place, whether it be Cam, palm position, right wing, left wing, or up front. So I think that's why they're looking at Ekatike or at Pedro, who's sort of like Nkuku, don't have a set role, but a bit more versatile than Nkuku, because Nkuku is very much a SS player, you can call him, second striker.
Yep.
And like advanced. Yeah.
Really quick, because I want to pivot back to the actual transfer talk. I don't want the chat to get lost, but I respect everyone that responds. So Solomon and JJ, you guys are essentially saying, do we not think they're building something right now for the future? No, that's not what I said. Precisely the opposite. I can see us building. I can see us challenging soon. I started off saying we are not that far off from challenging. What I am saying to you is this. Many a Chelsea team manager and board I've seen win major honors and then drop off the next year. I've seen us win a Prem, drop off to 10th to 12th. I've seen us win a Champions League, drop off again. Granted, that was a different situation with the ownership. What I'm trying to say is, and so I can conclude this, go back to our transfers. I'm not saying we deserve to win anything. I want us to work and maintain consistency so that this project we're building, when the cream finally rises to the top, let's make sure we reap a hefty reward, not just one major honor here and there. And we look back in history 10 years from now and go, you guys remember that team with Cole Palmer, with Reece James, with all those boys, and they only won one trophy.
Because, by the way, JJ and Solomon are on our side. I think the point you made confused them. They got that you kind of implied that it wasn't that. Deb's point is very, very clear. For Jay and Solomon in particular, because they're always listening. What he's saying is he believes in the team. He's just saying he doesn't want them to develop and they don't sustain success. That's why getting these attacking players is very important, because you don't want to have Palmer there and Delap and Jackson both fall off and it's like, yo, Palmer's in this good position, but what about everyone else? And we're here again, but we can't really
dominate. Because eventually those players will leave. That's what people don't understand. Imagine developing a project built for success, and then Madrid takes all our players and then wins with them. Because that's what's going to happen. Big up to you,
it's just simple as that. What we're saying is, players like Gittens, players like Fofana, we're linking about your transfers. If you can get them in their right profile and have Palmers and have the lap performing, now we can actually build something as a team and actually dominate properly, which is the whole point of the plan. So we agree with you. That's the whole point. That's the whole ring what the ownership are doing. They're literally trying to build the best squad to sustain success, which is what Dev wants, what we all want. He's literally said the same words I just said, Dev, what we all want, you know? So that's fun, isn't it? But you can't guarantee every season will be dominant. Or City should be dominant. Yeah, but that's not really the point. The point is that we're not even saying you have to win every year. It's more like you're dominating in terms of you're competing and winning at the same time. So maybe one year you win, one year you compete. Sort of like Liverpool and City. Liverpool and City were doing this. They would win the league when Liverpool win FA Cups and stuff. Then one season,
Liverpool's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Liverpool lost out many titles to City, but they were dominant. It was City and Liverpool for 6-7 years straight. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking you to win. You're not entitled to win every season, but compete at that level. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just clarifying the point that literally the reason I'm bringing up Liverpool is because at least they still dominate in terms of trophies. So even though they weren't winning the Premier League or Champions League every single year,
FA Cup,
no one's expecting anybody to, unless you sign like literally a world 11, which everyone would say, yo, that's the best team in the world. Even Real Madrid don't have it. Even Real Madrid's team has holes in it. You know, so like, we're not saying Chelsea have to build some elite team that every single year must win the double every. No, we're just saying when we have a good team,
this should be the long-term investment.
I want to see every player in their position be like, yo, they'll look around and go, yeah, James, calm. Cole, let's do this. Caicedo, let's do this. Asugo, Enzo,
and it's starting to get to that point, Chez. You get what I'm saying? You look at Reece James, you look at Caicedo, you look at Palmer.
Yeah, everyone's looking around and going. So, for example, this season, Jackson now is going, Delap, say no more. Gittens Fofana or Gittens and Kudus are going, yo, say no, let's do this, man. Let's compete.
Right.
Let's push. Right. And you've got Esteban and Neto. Let's push. You know, Cucurella Hato. Hato's coming in baller, he's like a timber type thing. Yeah? He's looking like, yo, Cucurella, say no, let's go, let's move. Magnan comes in. Big, tall brother, AC Milan, French. Personality. Magnan comes to the team. Yo, boys, enough of this crap. Let's do this, yeah? Let's go, let's push. That's what we all want. Yeah, we all see that they agree with us. I think the point.
They got lost in the sauce. There's no listen. I'm saying the long-term investment. If anyone needs a refresher on what long-term, that's a 10-year thing. In 10 years, I would like to look back and see Chelsea competing at the highest level again for a sustained period of time. That's as simple as the point is. As simple as.
This season, like if we're fighting for top 5. No one here is going to be like, oh, yeah, but it's patience because we're stagnating. The whole point is we need to start dominating up the league. Like, every single year, we're making it to finals.
Let me tell you easy progress for this season. You got 5th the season before, 4th the season before. Get me
there
3rd.
We go. Now this season, okay, we didn't make the Carabao Cup any finals. This season,
try to make a final domestically.
Domestically, we need to be seeing at least one final domestically with a Carabao. Let's improve.
If they go to a final domestically, they gotta win, Chez. The record is horrible. It's not even on this current team. I'm just saying, man. If we go to Wembley again, someone has to win.
There we go.
It's not right. It's not even right to put that expectation. I'm just being biased. I can't take it.
Yeah, man. Gittens, I'm very happy with him. People obviously having a debate over him or Fofana. And like it says very clearly in front of me, so I still got it up. It's among the candidates being viewed to meet their other attacking requirements. So obviously Chelsea will be going for like an attacker who can play different positions. So again, in this list, I think Gittens would be a good left winger. But I would probably prefer like a Kudus because he's prem proven. He's got the physicality and stuff. But I wouldn't complain if someone like Gittens Fofana came in. But I think Kudus would add a different dimension to our team. I think he'd be very, very good for Chelsea. I think Kudus would be a fantastic player for Chelsea. But again, let's see what we go for. And I think Fab also spoke on this as well, chats. Let me get up in front of you now. In terms of what Fab said, he said something very similar to that about Chelsea. He said he's not opened the doors to other clubs and maintains the agreement on the 7-year deal with Chelsea. Discusses club to come remain ongoing. Yeah, so Chelsea didn't want to pay the £55 million Dortmund were kind of forcing us to do. So they backed out of it. And so hopefully now we can get a deal around 40, 50. That'd be kind of good. In euros, that should be a good price. And yeah, if we got Kudus and Fofana, I wouldn't mind. If we get Kudus and Gittins, again, I wouldn't mind. I just want the ceiling to be raised. Sorry, the floor to be raised. You know, we need the level to go up in the team. We've got no left wingers. We've got George. Mother, George looks like he's improving. But the point is we can't rely on him. Champions League, Premier League, potentially title charge. You know. Now, if you bring in Gittens and Kudos with the players you already have, the ceiling and the floor improves because Kudos is actually a top winger in terms of the Premier League himself. You know what I'm saying? So that raises both. Gittins would raise the floor, but then Kudos would raise the ceiling. He's a really good potential, but he's also at a good level himself. So that's what
West Ham Kudus?
Mohammed Kudus from West Ham.
Yeah, from West Ham.
Yeah.
How much do you think he would go for?
That's the problem. Like, I think they asked for originally. He has a release clause of 75 or 80. So again,
I would say 45, 50. Yeah.
100%. That's the one. Yeah, 100%. 80 million in Kudus is a very, very high fee. But if it was to happen, he would raise the ceiling because he's one of the best wingers in the Prem. So he would raise the level of the team 100 billion%.
Hey,
yeah.
Chat. Let me get a top 3 outgoings from the chat while we're discussing incomings, because obviously we got to make space for these players, and we've already had too many players on the books to begin with. So while we continue discussing Kudus and wrapping up the chat, I just want to see everybody's top 3 outgoings. I'm talking about top 3 immediately gotta go.
Yes, I'll do. Gittins, Kudos in. Right, chat. Look at this ticker here. So we're Gittins and Kudos again. Who goes out of the team? So I want everyone to name me, because we're talking about attacking positioning. We've got quite a lot of attackers, midfielders. So give me 3 names who should leave. Don't include the ones who are leaving already.
Nah, JJ's response is spot on, and the third one's not even an attacker. He just has to go. He said Sterling, Felix, and fucking Disassi.
Bro.
I dislike Disassi a lot too, actually.
Disassi just annoys me. It's not even his fault. He's just so meaty.
Oh no, that made my day, man. Look at how many people are putting Disassi. Disassi's number 1 for that.
Bro. It's just not looking good, bruv.
Oh shit. Alright, I'm gonna read out some of them, the best ones, and while I read them out, smash the likes, people. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe if you like the content.
Yeah, smash the likes, man. I see many people watching this video. I can't even see. Let me see what the likes are on.
Oh, we got Sterling, Felix, Disassi, Sanchez, KDH. Wow, KDH.
42 likes is actually quite good. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got to smash the like button today. Fair enough. 42 likes. I can't complain. That's a lot of likes. Nice. Well done, people, man.
Sure, absolutely. Sterling, Nkunku, and Felix. That's a good shout. Someone was also saying he rates Fofana over Gittins. I haven't seen enough of Fofana, so I can't speak on that. Madueke, Sterling, and Felix. You're the first Madueke shout. People don't think it's too soon for Madueke. Like I said I would preferably look for a loan for him first. But, if it...
Yeah, I don't know if this will be the first player who's played a lot for us who'd get sold within 2 years. No one's been... Felix doesn't count because Felix was clearly a money thing, obviously. Because Samu was the ideal job, but he backed out. So it was between Samu and Felix. And obviously, Felix came in, but I feel bad for KDH. Decent player, but won't fit in this midfield. Was KDH on the bench yesterday, chat? Did he even fly to New York?
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even really look at the bench until the subs.
LA.
Until the subs came in, I didn't even look at the bench, man.
No,
I promise you. I was there, and I was just whatever. Just put whoever needs it. My main thing was putting Enzo on the pitch, and he did that early. So once that happened, I was calm. I mean, real calm. I was like, they could play a 90. He could sub in the kids. He could do whatever he wants. I could kill it. I'm telling you guys, that game was dead. But yeah, they said he was in the squad. The problem is,
that comment, he made it.
That comment is spot on, man. he's not a bad player. He's the definition of mid, average, decent player. But the problem with it, like Ed said, is this midfield is nasty, bro. He's not fitting in that midfield. He's not getting in that midfield. He's just not. You have Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia. Then if you want to swap out one of those three, you have Esteval. Then if you're not even talking about Esteval, you have Santos. Like, he's not getting in this midfield.
It's too stacked.
He's just not. It's way too stacked.
And don't forget, Palmer plays in midfield. So it's literally impossible.
Put Palmer, just play him as a 10, but, compact him into the midfield, or we want to play him off the right in the midfield. Forbid Palmer wants to drop into the midfield. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's over for KDH. Yeah, people are right. He did come in clutch, especially in the Conference League, but he's got to go. He's got to go.
I think Chelsea, in terms of money, Chelsea have problems with money. That's why we're linked to all these players, because we can actually afford them. Noni is gone, Chess. This is the thing, be still. That's what I'm trying to tell Dev. Noni will be the first player who's played for us consistently who would actually leave within 2 years. He'll be the first one. So you know what? This will tell us a lot about Chelsea's model. If they do get rid of Noni, it does show you they'll give you a chance, but if you're not at the level, they will sell you. Like, even though they'll promise you a 7-year contract, they will have in the back of their mind, we'll give you about 2 and a bit years. If you don't perform, we're not going to hesitate to sell you. So, listen, Gittens and Fofana and Kuz came in, I will not be angry whatsoever. That's 2 people who can fill in that position, and I would love it. I'd rather, this is my ideal chat, I'd rather get Gittens, Fofana, and like a Morgan Rogers or something like that. I'd rather get all 3. So if this was me, I'd get 2 left wingers, 1 starting, 1 competition, and I would get another forward who'd replace like Nkuku, basically. Because don't forget, Nkuku's gone, Sterling's gone, Sancho's gone, Mudrik's gone, and if Noni leaves, that's 5 attackers all leaving this summer. And if you only bring 2, that's not going to be enough for all these competitions. So in my opinion, I would bring in Gittens for Fofana left wing, and I'd bring like a forward like a Rogers or a Kudus, or even if Ekatika's price went down, maybe him to fill in instead. I think that could be a shout. But chat, let's see what Chelsea's going to do. So far, we're linked to good players, but we don't really know who we're actually going to go for. That's the problem. Joey's saying now. What are you saying now to? Do you feel like he won't leave, Joey? Do you think he will stay? 7 years, you don't need 2 left wingers with Quenda coming in.
How old is Quenda?
Quenda's young. I think Quenda's 19.
19 still, or 20 max.
You know what? He actually might be 18.
Jesus Christ. So when people say this, I hear you, but like, once again, I know everyone's trying to move to this young team, young model thing, but I believe there's a thing that's too young. Like, I believe you got to at least be 21 to 23. That's my personal view.
Yo, something to interrupt you. He literally just turned 18.
Nah, yeah, you guys got to chill. Quenda's not coming in anytime soon, bro. Like, a minimum of 3 years before Quenda is even. We'll just keep signing him to a bigger contract, etc.
No, Joey, that's not the point. The point is like, the only way your argument makes sense if you think Quenda comes in and starts. Because if he doesn't, like, here's the thing, Dev. Yeah, this is the good point Joey's kind of making is this. If we did get 3 attackers, it would be stockpiling, but then it wouldn't be, because if you think about it, if Palmer was to get injured, who plays in the 10?
My thing is, his argument is about age, right? So he's going to say Gittens and Fofana are 20, right? But that depends on how well... He says, send me the link, I'll explain myself.
No, I'll let Joe come through because we're going to cut soon, but we'll have a little debate with Joe.
What I would say to you, Joey, how well do you think Fofana and Gittens will play in our team the first season? I think it's going to take them a year, maybe 2, to get to the top level people think they're performing at now. Because everyone keeps forgetting it's all fun and games until you rock up to the Prem and then you get humbled. We're seeing many a player in many a position with way better talent IDs. That's all I'm trying to say. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, like this is the thing though. You can't do this. You can't do this. Oh, he's too young. Oh, you can't do this, bro. Because Quenda has had as many starts and as many games as Gittens and Fofana in a first team moment, in first team opportunities. He's had just as many games, if not more games, than both of these guys. So you can't just go and say, oh, because he's 18, he's not gonna. Bro, all these guys are.
Okay, cool. Forget his age. Let me just say this point then, yeah? Because I said I've maintained we're gonna get 3, correct? That's what I've said.
I think it's 2. I think 3 is too many. Then you're just leaving Esteval.
This is what I thought originally. Then someone said to me, Robert, you know, very positive, always tells me whatnot. He was then telling me, but then we're losing in Cuckoo, right? We're losing Sterling. We're losing Sancho. We're losing Mudryk. And potentially Noni. That's 5 attackers leaving. And I'm going, fine. That sounds like a lot. But who's really going to play? So you got Delatson and Jackson up front. Cool. Sure. You got Pedro Neto and flipping Esteban on the right. Palmer can play there. In the 10, it's just Palmer. That's a problem. On the left, as it stands, there's only George. So we do have.
You just left out Esteban like it's not happening.
No, I didn't. I said he's right wing of Pedro.
Okay.
So my thing
is left or there. I mean, can you put Esteban on the left? Is he a dual winger?
Let me do the numbers for you real quick. Okay. The only thing.
Let me make my point. My point is bringing in 2 left wingers is mandatory because we actually need to.
I disagree.
I think we need to, man.
I disagree. I disagree. I think one left. I think you get one left winger
on the left.
Wait. So who do you want on the left, Joey? Just give me your ideal transfer.
I think that point's irrelevant. Like the point of who I want on the left is irrelevant. We have 2 players that we are potentially going to.
Yeah, but not in the Premier League though.
But here's the thing: we keep on saying not in the Premier League, bro. We keep buying these fucking young players and then not playing them is not going to do anything for us. Like that's the whole point that I'm trying to make. You can't buy these young players and then just say, "Oh, you're not playing. You're not even a part of the form of what the team's going to look like this year. You're not going to get on."
I agree with that point.
So like this is where my point comes. All right, you buy a left winger, regardless, right? You're going to buy a left winger. He's going to come in. He's going to play, right? Let's leave that out of the question for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Neto has shown he plays both sides. Okay, he plays both sides. He's better on the right, but he plays both sides. Kudus, let's just say it's Kudus or Morgan Rogers, all right? Either way, Kudus and Morgan Rogers are getting opportunities on the wing. Yes or no?
Yeah.
No matter how we look at it, they're both going to get opportunities.
Yeah, they both played
left or right. They're both going to get opportunities. And that's backup for Palmer at the 10. Now we have Esteval as like the backup winger to Nani. And then you have or Kudus in this case, right? Or on the right-hand side or whoever it is. Or if it's Neto if it's Morgan Rogers, Neto will be the starter on the right, and then you get Morgan Rogers and whoever your left winger is on the left. Like you have one player that covers 2 positions in this scenario.
Wait. Joey, you might be right. Hold on a minute. Guys, look at this. Joey, there's a reason why I brought this up. Because Joey's going somewhere where Dev, even now I'm like, yo, this is why I love having people on the show. Because, bro, Dev, the guy cost us 52 million euros.
Right. Like, he's not going to come in to not play, bro.
Yeah, but okay, now, you see, listen, you know the Stormzy meme when he starts waffling? That's me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, this kid has played as much football, senior football, as Gittens and Fofana. There's no reason he doesn't come in and play. There's zero. And have you watched him? He's absolutely, like, well beyond his fucking years in the U21.
That's what I think it is. I think I'm being skeptical of him.
Blowing them out of the water. He doesn't even look like he's supposed to be on the same field as some of these guys on the U21. Like, he's obviously ready for first-team football. Like, obviously. Very obvious. There's no reason he doesn't come in. And especially with a whole nother year at Sporting where he's going to start, he'll be at, like, close to 100 games by that point. Like, at 19. Like, no. we're not doing this age thing. Like, this age thing is garbage. You only need one left winger because you already bought Quenda. Like, that's it. That's it. That's all it is. It's all it comes down to.
You would, even if Quenda's not ready to be the start, you think he's more than equipped to be at least a backup on the wing. That's it.
No doubt about it. Zero doubt
then,
about
it. When you articulate that, I hear your point. That's a perfect well made.
The only reason why I'm going to have this, you let me know if you want to disagree with anything. I want to make conversation here, and I do agree with this anyway. I'm not just playing devil's advocate, Joey. Yeah. The main problem I have with this debate is just the wording of he can play there or so-and-so can play there. The reason why we lack this season is because we had too many of those players who can play left wing or right wing and not be specialists. That's why I'm so hell-bent on wanting 2 left wingers. Because I feel like if we have 2...
I hear where you're coming from.
If we have 2 left wingers, right?
If you're talking about numbers... If you're talking about numbers, like number of players, right?
Yeah, so if we're talking pure numbers, then
2 players.
If we're talking pure numbers, then I wouldn't have said 3. But the reason why I said 3 is because Palmer has no replacement, and we all know our policy is 2 players each position.
Right. So, like, that's where
left wing we've got no one.
Yeah, that's that's why I say it's either Kudus. It's like Kudus or Morgan Rogers is like a definite one, and then a left winger as a definite one, and then that's probably the.
And what you would argue is you'd have the left winger Gittens who would fight with Kudus or Morgan Rogers,
or even Neto at the left. Even Neto playing left for us, like, or if it's Morgan Rogers, it would be Morgan Rogers. If it's Kudus, I'd rather have Kudus on the right, so you have Neto on the left, and you just have them fight out for the left wing position.
Yeah, I just like Pedro Neto on the right, and I feel like him and Esteban on the right would be good competition. That sort of thing, but. Listen, Neto and Noni are equally bad on the left. Yeah, this is my thingy.
Here's the thing, bro.
What we're saying.
You guys keep doubting Neto, bro. He's gonna have a cool.
No, I don't think they're calling him. No, but Joey, it's not, or maybe he's being hyperbolic. It's not a bad left winger, but again, I want specialists in their position.
Bro, like just
Neto and the left are gonna.
Here's the thing. If we didn't buy Quenda, I would hear you, bro. Like, and I get Quenda's not naturally a left winger either. He's more of a right winger, right? Like, just
yeah, but see, I'm not saying he's meaty. I'm just purely saying.
He's saying he's being disrespected, and I do actually agree.
Yeah, he does get disrespected, but not by me. I'm just saying he's not a left winger. Like, he could play there, but look what he did yesterday. And those are the sample size. Look at it against Arsenal. He does better on the right because he's a right winger. Like, I don't want
No. There's no disputing that. Neto's better on the right.
And by the way, I like Estevao. And if he comes in and he balls out, then I won't care about Neto going to left. But I'd still want 2 left wingers who are left wingers. Because when you're playing Champs and Prem, I don't want to be seeing Neto playing left wing in the Premier League because Gittens is used for the Champions League, for example. And I'm going, we're going to be weak on that left-hand side this weekend. Why? Because Neto's not a left winger and he's predictable.
I disagree, bro. I disagree. To me, Neto is the one player that I'm not worried about playing both sides. He's about the same on both sides. Like, he's not like this exponentially better player on the right, and he's not this exponentially worse player on the left. Like, I think he's about the same type of level of winger on both sides. Now, he's more prone to shoot on the right. That's something that we just lack in general. Like, we just don't have a lot of shooters, a lot of people shooting the ball at net, like, period. But, like, if you get Gittens, if you get Fofana, bro, like, to me, that's not, like, Neto is still a good option for both sides, bro. Like, he just shoots more as a right winger. That's literally the only difference. Like, that's it. It's like, to me, like, this whole winger situation got fucked when we went and got Quenda. Because, like, we needed players right away, and he's not going to be available until another year.
Yeah. That's why I wanted the 2 left wingers. If he was available this summer,
but I hear you, like, why you want it. I'm just telling you, like, if you're talking about, like, how the squad's being built at this point, it's not.
Yeah, because even me, I'm saying 3, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, how's that actually going to work? The Quenda, Estevao, Neto, then you bring in 2 wingers, and you still got Pedro Neto. There's like 7-8 players there. And Morgan Rogers.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like, it should be 6.
There's someone's missing out if you get 2.
Yeah, it should be 6 players, 2 wingers, one side, 2 wingers other side, 2 in the 10.
Yeah.
2 up front. That should be it. But now if you bring in 2 wingers and the Rodgers, and there you say Noni stays, there gets too murky. So for me, he did impress yesterday. And I think up front, we just have to suck it up that apparently he's going to be our striker with Dilap. That's what it's going to be. And I think
I'm still not. Don't count on that.
Joey, we had this debate the other day.
I'm not about to debate about it. I'm just saying, like, with the way that the striker market currently is and the type of price that we'd be willing to give Nico Jackson away, there's going to be a lot of suitors as soon as all the big top strikers start dropping off of the list. There's going to be teams that are going to want Nico Jackson just because of the roundabout price that we'll be willing to give him away for and sell him for. Like, I do believe that, like, later in the window, we're going to hear a lot more about a Nico Jackson sale potentially. Like, just based off of the way that the window is going. Because think about it, Chaz, just for a second, right?
Yeah.
Gyökeres is getting outpriced. Sesko's getting outpriced. Osimhen's getting outpriced. It just leaves Hugo. Like, everyone wants Hugo, and Nico Jackson's a similar profile to him regardless. So, like, we're really, like, literally, like, it could be Manchester United. It could be Villa. Because I believe Arsenal's going to end up with Watkins in the end with all the hoopla that they're gonna end up with Watkins because it's just a price. Like, so, like, if all that happens, like, there's still a good chance that Jackson's
I'm more viewing it in terms of, I know what you're saying, but then again, that argument can be used for a lot of players other than the 4 spinal ones like Palmer and any price. For example, someone said to me yesterday, Robert, very, very positive guy, has a very clear idea what's going on. Even he admitted if someone offered 90 million for Santos, obviously the club would sell.
Yeah.
And that's not really the point. Would they sell? Obviously they would sell him for triple the money, but I'm more talking about, I personally would view the club saying we've got Jackson Delap up front. So there'll be more or less what Simon Johnson said, which I showed Devin earlier. This wording is very, very key because it definitely implies that what Joey's saying is correct. So we get that one more time. I've already shown it before. I know Joe was watching, but for everyone else,
I was working. My apologies. I couldn't.
Yeah, everyone. Obviously, if you guys heard it already, but when they say among the candidates being viewed to meet their other attacking requirements, it does back up Joey's point of Jamie Gittens will be the left winger, and they'll look for another attacker who can fill in, but also play in different positions.
Yeah, so I do believe it'll be cool.
That does make sense. Yeah, more than quadruple. Yeah, 100%. So if obviously they came in for 100 million for Jackson, no one's going to be like, "Oh, why are you selling him?" You know.
I think they would sell for double. I think they would sell for 60.
Yeah, I think we paid 35 million euros for him.
30 plus some add-ons.
It was like 35. So someone comes in with 75, 70. Then Chelsea's not going to say no.
I'm telling you, 60, 65, they're putting that guy on. They're selling that guy, bro. I'm telling you right now.
That's
they'll go buy like Kamade or one of these guys that are like, similar to him, but like around the same price, cheap. To me, I wouldn't be surprised if we kept them either. Like, all this is like barring the way that the market's going, right? Like, I'm just seeing the way that the market's going, bro. Like, the 55, 60 is like a really good price for a striker right now. Like, it's like every other striker that's on the market is going for 70 plus. If 60 is like a good price for a decent striker right now. Like, I'm telling you, there's going to be teams that are in there for him. Like I said, Villa, and I wouldn't be surprised if Manchester United gets priced out of Ekitike and go for Jackson after that. Would not be surprised.
Yeah, but just you make a good point. Yeah, and listen, we're not going to complain. I'm happy with addressing certain areas. But Dev, was you going to say anything?
No, this isn't to the point being made.
To add, but it's a good debate, man. Like, I want us to address these areas because we're actually missing it badly. Like, during that rut, we had no striker, we had one winger. It was not looking good, So hopefully, if we can address those areas, we can definitely improve as a team, and therefore actually compete properly and see the team progress. Because, in my opinion, we even win out that 9-game run. Let's get the 9-game run up right now, actually, because then I can give you guys the context of where I actually think we would have finished. Because people forgetting, even like Dev said before, even before that 9-game run, we did drop some silly points in league to Fulham's and stuff.
I read them out now.
Which definitely obviously let us which let us down a lot, Let me get Chelsea's results up quickly, guys. Everyone can see in the chat.
I even lightly read them out, man. You talking about first half or the second half?
I'm looking. I want to look at the nine game run. I'm just getting up now to put it on the big screen for everyone.
Talking about the 9-game skid we had, right?
Yeah.
Where we essentially beat Wolves, but lost to Fulham, Ipswich, drew Everton, Crystal Palace. I think we drew to Bournemouth. Lost.
When we didn't have a striker?
Double on us.
You talking about when we didn't have a striker?
Yep, Brian.
Brian
back-to-back stuff, all that rubbish.
It's game after West Ham. That's what happened.
I'm getting up now to show you lot.
It started.
Just so we can go through it together. Because I want to realistically go through with the chat where I think how Chelsea would have done if we improved in that place. But it is all hypothetical.
With respect, that last 10 games we had, the boys really did that shit. Holy fuck. When you look at it on paper, it's actually crazy. Alright, go another.
This website hasn't got the visuals that I would want, but oh well. Let's show you guys this now. So here it is here. So the run that really let us down, I'm going to start from the top of this. This is where Chelsea could have gone top of the league. So chat, there's no visuals, so you have to read it. Chelsea, if we'd beaten Everton, would have gone top of the league. Okay? So prior to this, as you can see, we'd won I think 6 games in a row. Shamrock, Brentford, Tottenham, Southampton, Astana, Aston Villa. That's when we beat them 3-0 at home, convincing win. We beat Leicester. We drew against Arsenal at home, which at the time was an okay result. We drew against Man United, was a really bad result. But anyway, the point is, during this part of the season, it went from Chelsea doing decent to Chelsea doing fantastic. Because we literally won, 8 games in a row, whatever it is. Now, next season's going to be completely different because we're going to be in the Champions League. So do not look at this and go, oh, it's good. We played Conference League football against Shamrock Rovers, Astana, Idaho. Come on, we should be winning those games. Next season, guys, that could easily be PSV, PSG, and Bayern. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not getting overly gassed. This is the problem. I went the wrong way, didn't I? Cool. This is the problem now. We lost against Fulham, lost against Ipswich, and drew against Palace. Then we drew against Bournemouth. That was a terrible result. Lost against Man City, terrible result. And then lost back-to-back to Brighton, and then lost again to Aston Villa, which we should have done well in. And that run here is why we didn't go on to win the Premier League, which sounds mad, but if you use the context, that's what happened to us. Now, if we have the left wing, this is why I'm debating with Joey, if we have the 2 left wingers, if we have that option, we definitely don't lose against Fulham because Asugo can come in, Santos can come in. Ipswich Town, we probably get a result, probably a draw, because that plays for us now. Palace, we finish with our chances. That's what random. That's already what? 6 more points.
Mm-hmm.
And just that alone puts you damn near in second.
I'm saying let's just say we draw against Crystal Palace. Cool. That's 6 more points.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I say to people, it's not about the names, it's about the profiles. I don't really care when people rebuttal Chelsea fans and go, yeah, you lot should be signing the world-class stars. That's what you should be doing. Don't listen to that rubbish. Because those same people were telling us we won't make top 4 of our current team. I believe, in my opinion, you give me a Gittens or a Fofana and Kudus with this team, with the lap now joining, that would improve it. What do you mean, Osherman? Or if you're saying if you join the team, Osherman, yeah, it would improve the team, man. And obviously,
of course,
we lost. We had Austin, and I would argue we would be fighting for the title this year. I could argue that.
Yeah, I don't think that's not really debatable. That's a fact. And then we lost to Brighton back-to-back again the same way. No profiles.
Yeah, because we didn't have a striker.
No striker profiles, no wingers. Sancho, I think, was out. Sancho was playing, was doing nothing. George was there. Aston Villa, we should have done better. But again, Palmer, he had no competition. He was playing rubbish, missed 2 sitters. And then we went on our good run. Southampton home, I went to that game. That's when our run started. We started winning games. And obviously we went into our running here.
Partey's leaving Arsenal.
Oh, is it confirmed now?
Wow.
I just saw some more
That's
tweets
big.
about it. That's all. I don't know if it's confirmed.
That's not good. That means their midfielders downgraded, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
That's crazy.
Their midfielders gone from improved by a lot, they're digressed by a lot. Because Jorginho and Partey were quite good, solid players, isn't it? But Partey's going nowhere. Look at Neil Gunner. Hey, Joey, as soon as you said that, the Arsenal fans came running outside with their pitchfork. Man said he's going nowhere.
I have a way of being able to rattle that fan base pretty well. So
yeah. But people, I had to cut hour-and-a-half stream. Perfect. Good debate. Love Joe for joining. Dev, love as always. Back tomorrow, good time as well. See you guys tomorrow in a bit, man. Love.